Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone who just wandered in looking for the restroom, welcome to the Lounge Show. My name is Albert, but tonight is about the hosts of this amazing program. Rob Scott, joined by the only man who can wear a tuxedo and still look like he's in pajamas, Bob Doyle. Tonight, we're diving into the world of lounge culture, where the martinis are shaken, not stirred, and the only thing smoother than the jazz is our attempt at humor. In our show, we don't just cross the line of casual and classy, we conga line across it. So sit back, relax, and remember, if you're drinking along at home, the secret word is refrigerator. When you hear it, it's time to question your life choices. Just kidding. Or are we? Get ready for a night of music, laughs, and the kind of banter that makes you wonder, are these guys really hosts or just two guys who found microphones? Welcome to the Lounge Show.
It's the Lounge Show with Rob Scott and Bob Doyle, two veteran broadcasters who love to hear themselves talk and are somehow able to tolerate each other. Let's see if you can tolerate them as well. Here's Rob and Bob.
Hello, I'm the Bob part of that.
Would make me the Rob part, although they don't know at home because our names are not illuminated under our...
Oh, aren't they?
No.
Well, I can fix that any second with one of the gazillion buttons I have here. Look at that.
There
I found a
is.
solution. Just a little rusty. Well, okay, sorry. We got the long applause here. Let me just get
I like
them.
the long applause.
I know,
Welcome
but
to
when
the
you
Lounge
talk,
Show, boys and girls. Go
the
ahead.
problem when you try to talk over the long applause, you get canceled out, or the applause does, because we're still using 1990s technology to communicate somehow, I guess, where we can't talk at the same time. What decade is this?
It's the 10s, isn't it? No, the 20s. My goodness, the 20s. We're in the roaring 20s.
Yeah. Well, the technology exists. We just haven't successfully tested it, and quite frankly,
I will take all responsibility on that. I've been dragging my feet because, as I told you, Bob has told me this new
Jam Kazam.
platform. Yeah, Jam Kazam. Really, that's its name, Jam Kazam, and it's a platform, and we're supposed to be using it. But up until a few weeks ago, my computer was ill. It was
that's
sick.
right. Yeah.
And now it has just been crushing it day after stinking day. So I am ready to jazz and Kazam.
Okay,
It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday.
And that's how we knew to sit down in these chairs. Although, for those of
Yeah.
you keeping score, I'm not sitting where I
How do you
normally
do that,
sit.
by the way?
Keeping score
How
well,
did-
with the Lounge
Is it
Show
like playing-
scorecards.
Is it Lounge Show Bingo, where they get a card and then when certain things happen, they cross it out? Rob talked about the same story again. Oop, I can cross that one out. Rob went on and on and on, and Bob wanted to interject or something. Oop, I can cross that one out.
Yes, those.
Lounge Show Bingo. Which,
So we're
by the
not-
way, we should actually put inside the Lounge Around the House game. We should
Right.
also put a copy of Lounge Show Bingo
It's
inside
a sub
there.
game, right? Well, that's
Right,
only for
right.
the first, but that's only for the first 100 customers, though.
That's right.
Wait,
This
I mean,
holiday, it's a holiday special is what it is, Bob. We're doing this for the holidays. The Lounge we're festive in the Lounge.
Pretty soon we should open this up for paid pre-orders.
Yes, on Gray Friday.
They're
We
chomping
do a
at the
Gray
proverbial
Friday.
bit.
We don't do Black Friday. We thought that was negative
Right.
Nelly. So we went with Gray Friday.
Right. So I'm in a different chair. I'm actually normally I sit right. If you look back there, you can see a green
Emerald City?
screen, a green curtain right there. It's although the color.
Oh, now it's purple. It was green. It looked like
there it
the
goes.
Emerald
There's
City.
some green. That's where I usually sit.
Uh-huh.
That's where I usually sit on a Saturday afternoon. But the other day I stood up and I tripped over a cord and just ripped everything to hell.
That sucks.
And so now I'm moved over to my normal work desk, and so I had to move the camera over, I had to move the switcher over, I had to move everything over. And it's like, well, you know what kind of spaghetti I live in.
You do
Now
have
it's
it
all,
there.
now it's all over here instead of divided, right?
That's
So
right. It's worms everywhere, man.
So
Yeah,
we'll
you
probably-
do have a big bowl of spaghetti going on there.
We'll probably take this desk out, and open up that space. I don't know. Anyway, so
What do you think? What are you going to do with the like a breakfast nook? What were you thinking
well,
of using?
obviously we're going to get a stripper pole for fitness purposes only.
a reading hutch. where we can read books, a quiet place in the house
while
we
we're, doing our stripper pole
on the
workouts.
pole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not easy because those things have to be super enforced.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to get guys in there who know what they're doing. It's like putting in a washing machine.
Well, we also have to, but we have to reinforce from underneath. So basically, we can't park our car in the garage anymore because we have to have a column
that goes all the way through, like
That's
the
right.
bat pole.
That's right.
Okay, or a fireman, like a fire pole.
But I mean, the only time we need to worry about that is in the summertime when it gets to 100 and something. But by then, we'll figure something out.
Most of the strippers are in hibernation because they
Well,
hibernate.
again, this is for fitness purposes only.
Fitness is only like the Thigh Master. Boy, oh boy! Once I got that, the pounds just rolled off, man.
It's the best. It's the best workout. I think it's scientifically proven that the stripper pole workout is the best.
Yeah,
single, but you must have reinforced polage. That's what she said, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Quick question for you, Bob: cake or pie? You can only have one the rest of your life.
We have
cake?
talked about this already.
That's what, and you know what? Then that's on the bingo. They just scratch it off and go. Bob said we've talked about this. Or when is the first time during the show? Okay, I don't. I had it on my notes. All right, I'll tell you another one. Mahoney after the show last week where he was in the lounge
guest
with
appearance,
us,
yes,
a guest appearance.
Made
so
a
Mr.
cameo.
Mahoney, he texted me after the show and said, "I can't believe he gave me crap." Mahoney gave me crap about Mahoney. He referenced the previous week's lounge when I couldn't remember John Mahoney played.
Oh,
Frazier.
I know. It came to me later too, and I'm like, we had just probably said Tim Mahoney's name, and then we couldn't come up with John Mahoney, even though we just said it. Yeah, Tim, that was one of those, and I knew it was going to be right. We both knew when we got the name, it was going to be like, oh my god, how could we?
Right.
Not.
This is what's referred to as addled, isn't this? What our behavior lately? We can't remember things. We can't put A and B together. Is that an addled brain?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why you use ADD for it.
If that's BS, it still works for me. You could pass that. That would pass at a cocktail party. That would pass at a cocktail party. What you just said, and people go, "Oh, really?"
I really have to own it. Yeah.
Really you got to just keep a straight face, and you got to go. You got to play the bit out to the end.
I could do it.
I went to a wedding yesterday. Speaking of socializing, being at cocktail parties, I was at the ultimate social gathering thing, which are weddings. My friend Allie from work got married.
Right,
It was way the heck out there, way the heck west.
Like west, even wester than your daughter got married.
Yes.
Wow,
yes,
that's
because
west,
I thought
young
about
man.
where Samantha got married, and I said, "This is west of that." I didn't know there was even people west of where she got married.
And I thought that was the edge of the earth right after that.
I did too. I thought from now on, it's not even the U.S. It's just open game.
Do we need a passport to come to this wedding?
So it was. Well, I'll tell you, it was over 40 miles from my house one way. So that's a little jaunt. That's a bit of a hike. A little over an hour and 15 minutes or so to get there.
I don't know why when you said that it sounded derogatory. That's a little jaunt.
It was a bit of a jaunt. And you thought that, Bob, you got to get out more. If that sounds like R-rated dialogue.
No, I don't know. Like I'm picturing Oompa Loompas right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Jaunt is a derogatory word for Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, it was a bit of a jaunt. Look what you said. You made fun of the whatever. Anyway, it was a bit of a jaunt.
I'm never gonna get the Chocolate Factory. All right.
Reference.
Oh,
anyway,
God.
I went to it was nice. There was a waterfall. It was an outside wedding. I don't think I've ever attended an outdoor wedding. Have you?
Yes.
Okay, because I hadn't. And there was a waterfall in the back that's probably 5 or 6 stories up. It was beautiful. That's the backdrop of where they were. It was very nice. And it was old. The reason I bring this up for 2 reasons. You and I both discuss how we don't go out as much as we. And the other thing is it was packed with radio people.
Oh, yeah?
That I had worked with 10 years ago, 15 years ago, hadn't seen them. Oh, my God. Yeah, it was almost like going to a high school class reunion.
That's great, though. Yeah.
The broadcast world is small. It's a tiny, tiny world.
Who were like some of the oh my gods that I might know? Anybody that I might know or at least have heard the name?
I don't know. Mike Conti.
See, now I'm sorry. See, your story doesn't hold water. You couldn't come up with your imaginary friend's name.
Mike Conti, who calls for the Hawks. He does play-by-play for the Hawks, but I knew him in the GST.
See, you'll know. You know, I can't check that. I wouldn't know that. Okay,
I know you can't.
Yeah.
And then Scott Lindy was an old program director of ours, an operations manager of ours.
That name does ring a bell.
And Checka C, who is a voice talent and jock, and she's been all over the country tracking her show all over the country. And it was neat to see these people. And also, I have realized now that I don't drink a lot of soda, that 2 or 3 Coca-Colas, and that might as well be like amphetamines to me. I drank 3 Coca-Colas at the wedding, and I got home and I go, okay, we're going to watch a movie. And then we're going to do this. I'm going to fold paper bags. I swear it was like taking speed. I just don't drink that much soda. Do you drink a lot of, well, you're a coffee nut. You drink a lot of coffee.
Well, you know, we drink the Zevia brand.
Bing. Oh, wow. Yeah. Where is our, we don't have a sound effect.
Zero sugar sodas. So,
but that is soda.
Yeah. Is that your soda sound effect? I'm not.
No, it was like a commercial, but it doesn't have sugar.
Right. Well,
yeah, and then you'd have to let that thing play, and then you have the closing line of the
I need
spot.
to get into like black and white or at least sepia tone or something. Well, sepia tone is like the 1875s.
It is.
They didn't have aluminum cans back then.
No,
and
that's Back to the Future Part 3.
And they certainly hadn't figured out.
So does that have caffeine in it?
Some of them do. Like the Dr. Zevia, which is the Dr. Pepper alike, has some caffeine. Their colas have caffeine.
Okay.
You know, but these this doesn't. This is
so
the ginger
a sugar caffeine combo for me at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. Man, I mean, I'm just going, holy cow. And my dad used to, I know I told you this too, but he used to drink like 8 16-ounce bottles of Pepsi a day when he was smoking cigarettes. The truck delivered Pepsi to the house. The actual Pepsi truck. And they'd wheel it into the garage. And then when he quit smoking cigarettes, we actually went to the grocery store to buy Pepsi like the rest of the world. But up until that time, so that's a lot too. Of course, again, you have your fair share of coffee, right? During the course of every day. Is that caffeinated or decaf? That's okay. It's caffeinated. He never had 2 cups of that at home. Yeah. So it's caffeinated. And now, do you find you have a tolerance? Like you can drink coffee up until bedtime and still crash?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that's not reliable. That doesn't always happen. Like sometimes that screws me. Like if I drink coffee after 3 o'clock or something like that, sometimes I will have trouble. But then other times I will take a sip of coffee, and it's because I have had too much that it actually immediately has the opposite effect and puts me right out. And that's common for people who drink too much. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that coffee could actually be the off switch is what you're telling me.
Well, you have wrecked your brain all day with all of that coffee. It's way too much, and now, you know, it's all fake energy, and so now you're completely depleted and stuff. And now you try to drink coffee again, and your brain's like, "What the? No,
got it."
Right.
All right.
That's Science Corner, boys and girls.
Bob's Science Corner.
You can win bets with that information.
Sure you can, Bob. Sure you can. So anyway, I thought you would be more interested or intrigued that I actually went out and socialized, went to a wedding. And,
I'm sorry, Rob. I'm just all about myself today. What can I tell
you?
Yeah. It's
so
just
are you jazzed that it's this week? Because I am. This is a big week. This is a big week for me every year. Big goings on, Bob. Why would that be? See, look at the blank look on his face. If you're a teacher and your student looks like this, you're doing your job poorly.
Well, I don't know. Is it Thanksgiving?
There it is.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
Yeah,
sure
hold on. Let me back up and honor the fact that you went to a wedding, because I was actually going to comment. I'm sure that the last wedding I went to was your daughter's.
I believe that was the case for me as well.
We don't know a ton of people getting married and stuff. I'm trying to think if I did something social. Probably not. No, Tracy.
And I'm back at work too. Speaking of social now, the shop is open for radio employees, so that's good. Because when I went and visited my sister, I think I told you this last week, I felt bad for her because at one time I even think she asked, "How long have you been working home by yourself?" You know, like 9 weeks. You know, because I had all these things to say to no one for 9 weeks, and my sister had to be the sounding board.
Oh, I see. She got the waterfall. And it's like, I get it.
She was such a trooper. You know, she was a team player. She just listened to Uncle Buddy just prattle on about this topic and that topic.
My brain does not have any patience for prattling on. I don't even mean it in any sort of a condescending way to the prattler.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I cannot process that much information nonstop. It literally takes my energy and just goes. And every now and then, especially like in the industry that I came from, and we got people who just like to talk and share their knowledge about stuff, even if you don't ask. And those are the ones who just go on and on and on, and they think you're enraptured, and you're actually going into a coma. And that's,
I like the word enraptured. That's a good word.
yes, when you're giving them this.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I want you dead. I want you so.
Well,
like,
I did have one
dead with
nice lady sitting next to me. She's the wife of a guy who I remember from 100 years ago. We were all at the cool kids table, the radio table, and she was telling me some story, and it started really good. It started sound. It was sound. It had merit, and then it just drifted into like. Because people can do. I've been guilty of this too, where you'll say something, and then we went home.
These aren't the George you're looking for,
right? And then car, and you tell a car story, and before you know it, she was telling me about the first time they had a Christmas after they got married. I'm going, how did we get here?
Yeah, she was workshopping it, and she got derailed.
And I don't know how to do. Like, you made me think of that when you're looking at them. I don't know. Do I continue to look just blankly into her eyes, or do I drift around? Does that show that I'm more intrigued or interested?
No, so honestly, what happens to me, and Tracy will vouch for this. Like, I literally, it's like there's a tank that's filled. Like, they're talking, and then when I get to that point, my legs start shaking.
Really?
Like, oh yeah. Like, my toe starts tapping like crazy because I am now in. I'm in fight or flight at this point. Like, I need to escape this. It is so overwhelming to me, and I have to, most of the time I'm in a position where I have to just sit there, and like, if Tracy's there, I'm shaking and I'm holding her, and it's like, she knows I'm at shake point, and we need to figure out a way to end this. That would be
a good ice cream parlor name,
Shake Point. Yeah Shake Point's flavor of the month, the knee
flavor
shaker
of the month. Shake Point. I like it. I could hear a jingle in my head already. Kids, want to go to Shake Point? Yay!
Yeah. So Tracy's vouching. I start squeezing her hand. Yeah, it's like it gets tighter. It gets tighter
Tracy,
and tighter.
You're a saint, woman. You're a saint. I tell you.
It's
not
really
only
tough.
is she a gifted and talented booth announcer,
lovely and talented. Otherwise, that would be Gatbat.
Gatbat.
Yeah, no, she's but not that she isn't gifted. But let's stick with what
she's a cornucopia.
She's gifted, really. I mean, she's Glatbat. She's gifted, lovely, and talented. Booth announcer Tracy Glatbat.
Gladys Glatbat. She lives next door to Darren and
and what a snoop, what a pry-wye, a looky-loo.
What was her name? Gladys Kravitz. That was her name. And there were two of them, and no explanation. The one died or just went away, and Miss Abner stayed the same. Her husband never.
Abner stayed the same. And he's just, you just see him. He's leaned back. His glasses are here.
Yeah,
he's reading the paper.
Gladys.
Whatever, it's the same thing. Like, what a character.
And he had a cardigan on, probably like a checkered shirt of some sort and a cardigan sweater.
I know I've just assembled it in my head. I could look at it and go, yeah, that's not even the actor I was thinking of. It was real Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. Hold on to your butts. That was the Samuel L. Jackson. So here's the thing. I have to talk about it because I'm so jazzed. So when the lounge closed last week, excuse me, Sunday morning, because I had just flown in from Wisconsin and still did the lounge. And then I got up and went and bought the turkey because that's when you have to buy the turkey. You have to buy it 2 weekends before. Otherwise, you don't get a good choice. You get these 40-pound yucca doodles. It's awful. So you get a nice, fresh, young turkey.
Is that the breed? Yucca? They breeded yuccas with,
no, it just says Butterball. I think the breed is Butterball.
Well, you said yucca doodle.
Yucca doodle.
40 pounds, no less. That's a big ass fuck. I mean, what did you say?
Whoa, what did you say?
We have a friend who says fuckadoodle all the time.
Sit on a duck? What the heck was that?
All right, I should stop talking. You go ahead.
No, and so then you start the thaw on Wednesday and tomorrow, brine and make a head gravy. And then
Brian's going to make head gravy?
Wow. Turn up the bell tone. Turn up the doggone bell. Turn up the bell tone, Bob. There it is. That would happen when
I mean,
I'd hug my grandma. And then I got it. Yeah, do that again.
I'm so
Do
sorry.
that again.
Okay,
No, do it again.
I'll do it.
And the midget was on fire. That would be like a Kimmer joke. He would always say, "I don't know what happened, but when I got here, the midget was already on fire."
Which
And
was
that's a Klim-
Ludlow's line.
That's whose?
Ludlow's
was
Porch.
Ludlow?
That his
Fun
name.
Shaker?
That was
Fun
the title
Shaker.
of one of his books.
I did not know that. The title of his book was "The Midget's on Fire."
No, it was already on fire when I got here.
Oh, okay. How you doing?
That,
Fun?
you just don't say midget anymore.
No, you don't. No, they
One
can't
does not
change at all.
say.
One does not say midget. What about tiny people, small people? What is it? Horizontal? Horizontally.
You're not going to say
challenged.
vertically challenged.
They're vertically
No, no.
challenged. But I goofed it up.
Can't beep. I can beep myself.
There you go. Oh, goodness gracious.
All right.
anyway,
So,
yeah.
like
Thanksgiving.
Albert said, we've had laughter. I think music. Did we have music?
And the show? The lounge today?
There. Now we've had music. So now we've had music and laughter. I can't remember. Oh, the kind of
Yeah.
banter that. Okay, we've bantered for sure. I just wanted to make sure we fulfilled the promises of the show. We've hit all the checkpoints that Albert. Oh, it is really something out there. It's
You
perfect
suck.
weather, but I don't know the
You
temperature. Hold on.
suck as a DJ. Former
This is like all those
broadcast.
nightmares I had for years after I quit.
The weather jingle plays, and Bob goes, I don't know.
62 degrees in Henderson. Now it's 62 degrees in Henderson. Perfect weather to take a walk or sit on the back deck and sip non-alcoholic wine, which is my plan after we get out of here, because I have to exit these premises right at 6:30, because right outside this door here we're having Amber's 16th birthday party with her friends, and it's all decorated. and
Wasn't that last week or 2 weeks ago? Wasn't the big 16? Or is this a
her
monthly
birthday was. This is her party with her friends.
Okay, cool.
Before that, there was a Halloween party, and then we had Tracy's, and then there was another thing, and then there's this. Yeah, there. It's,
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a menu.
Yeah.
That's a menu. That's a social calendar.
So right now,
Yeah.
Tracy is making spaghetti.
Ooh.
In theory, now the perfect world is, I said, what are you aiming for? She said 6:30. So that means, now we're speaking of Bewitched, right? I get home from work, walk down the stairs, dinner's on the table. You see
I'm
the
home.
steam coming off the garlic bread that's just
Sure.
been cracked open. The fake wine's already poured, But there's
decanting.
chaos. It's chaos. If that happens, that would be a miracle. Tracy, if you're listening, do not feel like you have to do that. But
No.
anyway, but
Go.
don't
I
not
was
do it
just
if you
trying
want to.
I was just looking to see if she was answering, because I think Tracy's
No,
the only one on the code board today.
Yeah, well, we only let one person in at a time now because it was overloading the
Now
servers.
it all makes sense when you told me that. Last week was jam-packed, lots of people, and Fire Marshal was pissed off because the lounge was so overflowing with patrons. But today, not so much. They
got
knew,
over
you know
it.
what? I'll tell you why. Because they knew I was going to prattle on about Thanksgiving, cooking Thanksgiving dinner, which I just love to do. It's a challenge, Bob, but I accept it every year.
And how many are you hosting?
6 this year. It'll be my daughter and her husband and their daughter, my grandchild, and then my ex-wife and her husband.
Right. Cool.
It's a regular episode of Dallas, as I said at the wedding. There's all kinds of factions in the family, but it's family. And how great! And you get to cook for family. And you know why I love it's 4 days off, no decorating, no gift giving. It's just a big meal and 3 more days. And Chris and Ellen Gantner will be in town, and I'm going to have lunch with them on Friday after Thanksgiving.
I need to
remember
tell
the
Tracy
smell?
this. I heard from a friend of ours who's coming into town in December, who is a friend of a mutual friend of ours who we've been talking about a lot lately. So that's a fun little thing, Tracy. If you're listening, I got it. Big news.
Big news.
Big.
As
Huge.
God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly. We get to
Yes.
talk about that this week, too, which
So we're
I've
gonna
thought
be-
about. Oh, go.
Well, I was just going to tell you what we're doing. We actually
sure.
have, I'm sure we're having our dinner here, the 3 of us, which will be, I've got a portion of turkey, right? Not a whole thing, because they don't eat meat. So we get a portion of that and cook that, and then we'll just have, all the trimmings. And then the next day, I guess it's the next day, a Friendsgiving with some friends of ours. So we go and do that again the next day. I think that's right. And while we're gone doing that, Amber's going to have a Friendsgiving with her friends here. So I'm
Let
telling
me
you,
ask
this
you
place.
this: when we used to go to Kirk's for Thanksgiving, which I think we did a couple of times,
Oh, yeah.
our two families in Kirk, would that have been a Friendsgiving before the phrase was invented? Are you moving furniture there, or did you eat tacos for lunch? There's a
Pivot. Yeah, I left the window open because this computer blows a lot of heat, and it's nice. It's 65 degrees here, or 62 degrees here in Henderson. I wanted the air, but there's a truck.
So would you consider what we used to do? Would that have been a Friendsgiving before the phrase Friendsgiving actually?
Yes, I would
part
say
of-
that.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, because we weren't like with our extended families.
Right, and Kirk would have us over, which was really
Yeah.
cool, and he would host, and it was as I recall, we ate very well. I remember, in fact, one year, Thanksgiving of '95. So we have Thanksgiving, and then Friday, I made for Kim. I made leftover turkey and put it on like a bun or a roll or a piece of bread. Put it in the toaster oven with cheese and just melted it. Here's some leftover turkey. And the next morning, Samantha showed up. I've always said it was Kirk's leftover turkey.
Right.
That
It
induced
said, all right,
Samantha.
I'm out of here.
Yes, her birthday is the 25th, which will be this year, this Saturday. It's always around Thanksgiving, Samantha's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Not
That's
that you
right.
care,
Let's put,
but I mean, it all kind of plugs
what the hell?
I don't mean it that
What
way. I
is
don't mean it
that?
nasty. I don't mean it nasty. I just mean it does. Bob
Let's check
doesn't have
out
to
the still
get it in
blurry
your-
cam.
It is, but the piers are completely out, as you can see, boys and girls.
Yeah.
They're just sitting there up on that cement retaining wall by the lake. Oh, by the way, would you be kind enough to send me the video that you played, speaking of Lake Geneva cams,
Oh, yeah, sure,
of
of course.
of Pamela
Of course.
and I,
I
and
don't know why I
also
didn't
make
think
sure
of
you can get her the address, because whatever I sent her was wrong. I don't know how to get people to the lounge. It's interesting. I'm co-owner of the lounge, and I have no means by
It's
which to
only
get people
been 3 years, almost exactly. We're 10 days away from our 3-year anniversary of the launching of this show, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, this iteration.
That's correct. Yes, this iteration where I am here and you are there, and we're all together. Goo 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 goo.
Yeah. Kumbaya. Because we've been doing versions of the lounge, which again, telling my poor sister all these things that were pent up for 9 days of work or 9 weeks from working from home. I gave her the entire history of the lounge because she wanted to know how this happened. It started in Stone Mountain, and I talked her all the way up to this.
You know, I feel like I know I have some on hard drives around me, some of the shows that we were doing, back in the Live 365 days, the longer stuff. Yeah, that was fun. I mean, that was what we really, really wanted. That's what we'd be doing now if we could play music.
Correct.
We'd be doing that. I'm sure a lot more.
What
We'd
would
be
we
playing
have
more drops.
Because we used to play, for those of you who don't know, there was not a visual element to the lounge in those days. It was a complete audio thing, and we would play tunes.
We
were
did
allowed
video
to
a couple of times back near the end when that was starting, and I would set it all up, and it was all complicated and weird and small, but we
webcams,
did it.
those round orb webcams. They were all orb shaped. They were not rectangular like today's webcam. They were this round ball, and like a ball and socket almost. But anyway,
Oh, yeah, I kind of remember that.
yeah. But my question to you is, what would we do visually if we could indeed play tunes on the lounge now? Let's say we wanted to play a 3-minute song right now. Do we put something up like "Don't Go Away"? We're using the restroom.
Yeah, you're right. Well,
What would
you're
we have?
right. But okay, even if we weren't playing music in its full entirety, but like just being able to freaking use it, like as bumpers or whatever, and then maybe we would produce a few more things to bump to and from.
Yeah, I was going to say bumpers are only good for stop
Right,
sets.
no,
and
we'd
we
have to
didn't
go
have
to
any
the thing,
advertisers.
We'd
We'd
have
get
to go
people
to
to buy time on the lounge.